I'm Atra Al-Nashar in Washington. On Wednesday, the Supreme Court will hear arguments in a case that could undo almost all of the president's signature economic policy, tariffs. So far, lower courts have ruled that the president is overstepping his executive authority. In his second term, President Trump has not shied away from testing the bounds of executive authority. In fact, virtually his entire economic agenda depends on it.
Starting tomorrow, the United States will implement reciprocal tariffs on other nations.
Those global tariffs followed earlier tariffs Trump placed on goods from China, Canada, and Mexico to address the flow of fentanyl into the U.S. Since the Constitution gives Congress, not the president, authority to impose duties, Trump is leaning on a 1977 law called the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, or IEEPA. IEEPA does not mention tariffs as an option, and Trump is the first president to try it. On Wednesday, the White House will argue to the Supreme Court that tariffs are necessary to address two emergencies: the deadly fentanyl crisis and trade deficits they say brought the United States to the brink of catastrophic decline and dependency on geopolitical adversaries.
One person shouldn't have unilateral, unlimited tariff power.
Jeffrey Schwab is the director of litigation at the Liberty Justice Center, which filed the lawsuit challenging Trump's tariffs on behalf of 5 small businesses. They say business planning has become a nightmare for petitioners and other American companies. Schwab says Trump has undermined his own claim that a trade emergency requires the use of reciprocal tariffs, which he reduced and delayed by months on more than one occasion.
If they were so important that he needed to do them immediately, then why the delay?
If the Supreme Court rules Trump's tariffs are unconstitutional, the president says,
I think our country will be immeasurably hurt. I think our economy will go to hell.
The Treasury would likely have to refund about half the tariffs. Schwab says it's a mess of Trump's own making.
The government shouldn't be able to gain just because their illegal action happened to be so vast.
There are other legal routes for Trump to unilaterally impose tariffs, which his administration says he'd pursue if they lose. But Trump would have limits on how high the tariffs can be and how long they can stay in place. In Washington, I'm Atra Al-Nashar for the National News Desk, America's News Now.